friends. I'm glad you're at the Life Group. I know you're having a great time and you've got some great folks around you to fellowship with. And it's important that you're there, especially this semester of Life Groups, because we're talking about the vision of CRC. The Bible says where there is no vision, people perish, or people cast off restraint, or people do whatever they want to do. It becomes chaotic. And so I want you to understand the vision. Building an overcoming church out of broken lives through the power of Jesus Christ is who we are. That's what we are becoming. It's what we want to be. And then we're going to a place where we say that we have strategy for getting there. That strategy is found in our 5 I's of intercede, to pray, instruct, to disciple and train, influence, to reach lost people, impact, to reach back to other generations that are coming after us. That's our children and our young people. And then, of course, inspire. That's powerful praise and worship, because that opens the door for the teaching of the word and for the influence of reaching the lost. All those things come out of first getting in the presence of God. We've been talking about rethinking and repurposing and rebranding. And we've said we're going to focus on some things in the next year or two. Focusing on connection. That means we're going to communicate better. Focusing on welcoming everybody. We're going to reach out broader. Focusing on authentic love for God and for others. That means we're going to love bigger. So in the process of all of that, we've begun to look at our church and our organization. Now, we have values as a church, what our vision is and what our values of that vision. We have those things, but what we've begun to do is look at the values of our organization, the systems of how we do ministry. This talk is really important for those of you who are involved in the church and who are helping as leaders, helping us get to where we need to be. We identified 10 values that we want to start to lift up in our organization, in our ministry, the way we do ministry. I'm going to go over them with you, explain them a little bit, because I want you to start thinking about them. We said as an organization, we want to be vision and mission driven. That means everything we do, we somehow connect it back to the vision. We want to be driven by our vision, not just programs or somebody's bright idea, but we want you to always be asking the question, how does this fit into our vision? Number 2, we want to, in our organization, value education and training. That means when you join a ministry, when you go to volunteer, somebody trains you in that ministry. And if they don't, you say, hey, wait a minute, part of our organizational values is education and training. Nobody told me how I was supposed to stand or what I was supposed to wear or what I was supposed to say. I need some training here. But the bishop said that's one of our values. Number 3, this has been a tough one for us. We're getting better. Clear roles and evaluation. Learning how to clearly define what a person's role is, even if they're a volunteer, and how do we evaluate whether they're doing a good job or a bad job. Because if you don't do that, then you can't have number 4, which is accountability. So everybody has to be accountable of how they did it, what they did it. I tell people when it's volunteers, you want to be accountable, but want to be nice about it because they're not getting paid. But you know as a volunteer that you still want to be accountable. You want to at least do your job well. That's one of our values, and we're working on it. We want to, number 5, leverage technology. More and more, you'll see it in the church. You'll see it in the worship experience. You'll see it when kids check in. You'll see it when the new church app comes out. We're going to leverage technology to make it easier for us to communicate and connect with each other and stay on top of things like prayer requests and service times and word when the word is preached. We can stay on top of those things. Volunteering, we're going to leverage technology. And then number 6, I have to admit, is one of my weak areas. That's celebrating the vision and victories and our wins. We have to be in a place where we are celebrating those things that God has done. I'm quick to just, boom, go for it. Let's go to the next thing. But we have to learn to stop, have a pizza party, and say, Lord, thank you because you helped us to reach this milestone in the ministry. Number 7, a focus on personal growth. You'll hear more and more in your ministries that you're a part of, people talking about, well, we're going to take this test to see about this area of your gifting. Or we're going to get you to read this book because it's going to help you to be happier. We're going to share this because we want you to grow personally. Number 8, collaboration. We really want teamwork to be a part of who we are and what we do. We want to make sure that that's critical to all of us. And then we've been talking about this one, communication. That's number 9. We want to make sure that throughout our organization, we are communicating effectively and sincerely with one another. And then finally, the 10th organizational value that we're lifting up, it is my absolute favorite. It's the value of kindness. I want to make sure that throughout this organization that people are treated with kindness and with love. Now, we all have bad days. We all get it wrong. We all say things we shouldn't say. And we have to learn how to go back and say, hey, please forgive me. I was having a rough time. I was having a bad day. But we want people when they come to feel welcomed by us and feel the kindness of God. So in the systems of our church, that means how we take care of guests and guest services, how we take care of students and children, how we handle worship and praise, how we handle all the different outreach ministries and things that we do. We want these organizational values to be clearly seen in everything that we do. We're making lots of changes. When visitors come, they're welcomed in a new way. When new members and new believers come in, we're reaching them in new ways. We're sending letters and emails with videos that they can click on and get started learning and training and talk with me a little bit. We're sending nice gifts to folks because our organizational value, one of the big ones, is kindness. And we want to make sure that people feel that from the parking lot to the altar, that you know that we love you. So would you help me? Let's get our vision moving strong, moving forward. And let's make sure that these organizational values are seen in our life groups and everywhere else. God bless you. Thanks for listening.